Let's talk about The Conjuring. The Conjuring is an American film that was released in 2013 and based on a true story that happened in the 70s. The film opens on an interview with two women who invited a ghost to possess a doll in their apartment. This immediately set alarms off in my head. Two seemingly independent young women are living on their own when a ghost slash demon enters their home, and instead of fighting it, they decide to let it live within the Annabelle doll until it starts to make them feel unsafe. Women, when alone with or around a threatening man, tends to attempt to passively prevent violent outcomes for upsetting the man. So, fake laughter, fake smiles, agreeing to do something just to prevent something worse from happening. These are all described in Dua Lipa's Boys Will Be Boys. But being agreeable doesn't always work, and men can still take advantage anyways. Just like two women agreeing to let a ghost possess this doll to prevent a more violent outcome, the ghost still takes advantage anyways. What's interesting about the opening of this film is that it seemingly juxtaposes the traditional possession film narrative of a woman being taken advantage of against her will by having the two roommates choose to let this ghost live with them, and it is a false sense of control. They never had a choice. The ghost was going to live there one way or the other, and the ghost wasn't even possessing the doll. It was just using it as a conduit to eventually possess one of the two roommates. So they are still being taken advantage of against their will, even if they think that they've allowed the ghost to be present. Another interesting thing about this opening is that dolls were created as toys for women to simulate being mothers, the patriarchy's ideal woman, and the opposite of the patriarchy's ideal woman would be a career woman. Women can be mothers or workers, they cannot be both. The two women in this opening are career women. They're nurses, which is incredibly consuming in both time and energy. If a mother is spending that much time and energy at work, then there couldn't possibly be any left for a child, deeming her a neglectful mother. If a doll is supposed to be a surrogate child for the woman who owns it, then it stands to reason that Annabelle represents the neglected child, and the ghost possessing her is merely a consequence of the working woman's choice of career over motherhood. Which brings me to one of our main characters, Carolyn. Carolyn is a full-time mother. She spends all of her time at home with her 5 daughters. And although each of the women has an experience with the spirits that are living in the home, Carolyn is the only one who is possessed. And she is possessed by the spirit of a satanic witch who lived in the home and sacrificed her child to the devil. But Carolyn didn't choose career over motherhood. So why is she being punished as a neglectful mother like the two women at the beginning of the film? That is because Carolyn is something much, much worse than a career woman. She is not religious and does not go to church. And to top it all off, her children are not baptized.
Your children been baptized?
No, we never got around to that. We're not really a church-going family.
Well, you may want to rethink that.
So it's pretty much the ultimate form of neglectful parenting. Her children have been condemned to hell. And another main character, Lorraine, is a career woman and has a daughter. So why isn't she being punished? Why doesn't she get possessed? Why does her daughter only have a brief encounter with one of the spirits? That is because Lorraine goes to church and her daughter probably is baptized. Based on a conversation that Lorraine has with her daughter, she is neglectful in regards to spending time with her because of her career. But because she's religious, she has God to watch over her in her place. As a not so subtle metaphor for Carolyn's failures as a mother in the eyes of God and society, the spirit she's possessed by attempts to make her take her own child's life. You've already condemned them to hell. You might as well finish the job now. Even the priest that Ed and Lorraine consult about the exorcism says the church would never approve it because Carolyn does not go to church. So maybe if Carolyn was a better mother, this wouldn't be happening in the first place. As Michelle Lynn Pribernow explains in her dissertation, Possession, the Struggle of Female Bodily Agency in Exorcism Cinema, with few exceptions, the possession narratives feature a white, cisgender girl or woman being invaded by a demonic entity and being saved when she able to be redeemed by a religiously empowered man. This pattern exposes cultural values regarding sex, gender, race, and power. The success of this formula over 50 years suggests its enduring appeal and legibility to audiences, making it worthy of further study. None of this is the dad's fault. Men are the saviors in possession films. They are very rarely the possessed because men have autonomy over their bodies. Men even have authority over women's bodies, according to the government and society and the church. So when a woman fails at motherhood, involuntarily allows a demon to possess her body, and begins to attempt to take her own child's life, the only one that can save her is a man. The opening of the film states that Ed Warren, Lorraine's husband, is the only demonologist recognized by the Catholic Church. Not Lorraine, who works with him on every single case and even has psychic abilities that help her see that there are even souls in the home when they are visiting. Only the man is recognized by the Catholic Church. Luckily, motherly love is what saves Carolyn. Lorraine, the good mother, urges Carolyn to think about her daughters and her family, and Carolyn's body ends up rejecting the demon possessing her. Almost as if to say, it's not too late. If you accept God into your heart now, you can be a good mother.